Hey, John here, and today I'm going to share with you a lesson from Flat Picking the Blues. This is a course in the premium library, but it's really important. It's on a super important topic, and if you pay attention to this one thing, at almost any stage of your playing, it's going to make you sound better. So let's get into the lesson right now where we talk about dynamics. If you play like this, there's really no change in volume or accents at all. You really kind of get lost, which is beat one. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know. Or if you weren't playing along with somebody else that's doing the accent for you, you wouldn't know, okay? Chugging along like that can be fine, and it has its place, but you can really start to create a mood when you accent different notes. Now, instinctively, you may want to accent beat one. Let's try playing through a few rounds of this rhythm figure with a strong attack on beat one. And what I'll do is lift up off the palm mute for beat one, and then we'll further emphasize it by playing that little open upstroke as we head into beat one, okay? Here's what this sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This way you always know where the one is. But you can move that accent around. You don't have to emphasize the one. What if we move it to just the two beat, like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or the 4. Or let's do the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do some pairings. Let's accent 1 and 3, and then we'll move to 2 and 4. Here's 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our 2s and 4s coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey, John here again. If you're getting anything out of this, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and let's get back to the lesson. Notice how I didn't get crazy with it. I'm not really hammering down on the strings with my pick hand too heavily on those accents. It doesn't take much. In fact, you can accomplish a lot just by releasing a palm mute and letting the notes ring. It lets them breathe, and it adds some dynamic contour to the part that you're playing. And notice how each piece felt a little bit different, and that can suit different moods. Notice when you went to the 2s and 4s, it kind of had a little more of a swinging vibe to it. You can almost hear the snare and hi-hat just kind of chugging along with you, and just putting a nice little upbeat sound to that basic shuffle. You can also use ghost notes to really alter the dynamics. Remember, dynamics is all about how loud or softly you play in relation to other notes. Well, ghost notes really take that to an extreme. What a ghost note is, it's basically when you play a note but you barely even hear it. If you're just listening, you would even question whether or not the note was actually played. It's not very present. So a great place to do that within the context of our shuffle is on the and of each beat, right? So if we play without any ghost noting, you'll clearly hear that and, that real strong presence of the and right before the next beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But what you can do is ghost note the ands, and that really puts the emphasis on those strong quarter note beats, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and you barely hear the and of each of those beats. So you might get something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's there, but barely there. Let's do it over A. B. right, so that gives a little bit of space to let the music breathe a little bit. It's not as in your face as really chugging along with that constant dynamic feel of each eighth note. Okay, so consider ghost noting some to let your part breathe a little bit, putting more emphasis on the downbeat and then on the 2-beat, 3-beat, and 4-beat. All right. Now, the last thing that we'll talk about here when it comes to dynamics is a complete departure from the shuffle feel. What you can do, and this works great when you're changing over into the A7 chord, is actually play the chord, let it ring. That's a great way to change up the dynamics in the blues. So we might get something like this as we head into the A chord. Just strumming through the chord. With the B7. Hear how that definitely creates some space and some openness, and you're not just chugging along the entire time. And to me, that plays with the dynamics. It plays with the overall feel and energy of the part that you're working on. All right, if you're looking for a great way to get started with the blues, then check out 3 free lessons from the Acoustic Blues Jumpstart course. Completely free. Just sign up, link in the description, and you'll be on your way to building a solid foundation in the blues. That's it for this lesson. I'll see you next week back here for another Tuesday Blues. Until then, practice smart and play on.